6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinha and read by Ramesh Perez. First, the headlines. The Prime Minister says although media can bring a government into power, it cannot protect governments. Work on the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Harbour will be completed by next month. The number of container handling will increase to 14 million once the Western and Eastern terminals are completed. The ambassador says German investors are ready to invest in Sri Lanka. The CID launches investigations into the officials and others who are suspected to have neglected to take action regarding the Easter Sunday attack. In foreign news, scientists find trigger of rare blood clots with AstraZeneca jab. In sports, the Women's Tennis Association announces immediate suspension of all tournaments in China. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says the various elements are working to direct the country without the knowledge of media personnel. The Prime Minister mentioned this while attending the ceremony to hand over SLBC insurance cover to journalists today. Expressing his views on the occasion, the Prime Minister pointed out that various groups are trying to damage the reputation of the country by using certain incidents shown over media. He said although media can bring a government into power, it cannot protect governments. Minister Rohit Abegunawardena says work on the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Harbour will be completed by January. He said 6 cranes will be fixed by April and 20 by June. Work on the Western Terminal will commence following an agreement with Adani Group. The minister said in Parliament both terminals will be made fully equipped terminals by 2024. He said the number of container handling will increase to 14 million once the 2 terminals are completed. Today is the 9th day of the committee stage budget debate. Expenditure accounts of ministries of ports, naval, water supply and related state ministries were debated today. Taking part in the debate, MP Nipuna Ranawaka said harbours in the country will be developed to make Sri Lanka a shipping hub. MP Mujibur Rahman said the Western Terminal has been given to India. MP Sampath Athukorala said Good Governance government sold Hambantota Harbour to China. Parliamentarian J.C. Alawathuala said more pipe water projects should be implemented in the Kurunegala district. The German ambassador to Sri Lanka and Maldives, Holger Schubert, met Governor of the Eastern Province, Anuradha Yampath, today. The meeting was held at the Secretariat of the Governor of the Eastern Province in Trincomalee. Development of tourism and agriculture sectors in the Eastern Province was discussed at length. The ambassador informed the governor that more than 250 German investors are ready to invest in Sri Lanka. The German ambassador pointed out that this would increase regional development and export opportunities to European markets. The CID has launched investigations into the officials and others who are suspected to have neglected to take action when there was information regarding the Easter Sunday attack. Investigations are being conducted on the members of the Security Council and persons under them who knew about the incident. The police media spokesperson, SSP Nihal Tardua, said legal action will be taken against all those who are responsible for the attack. The committee appointed by the President to look into the recent accidents linked to liquefied petroleum gas cylinders has inspected the houses where the incidents were reported. The committee members, along with the police, have made inspection visits to houses in Kottava, Athurugiriya and Hanwala areas, where several such incidents were reported. The Ministry of Health says 341 more COVID patients were discharged from medical care today. This brings the total number of recoveries reported in the country to 541,124. Sri Lanka has recorded 564,733 of COVID patients so far. 9,237 patients are currently receiving treatment. Meanwhile, the death toll from the coronavirus outbreak in the country stands at 14,372. Professor Nidika Malavige of Sri Jayawardenepura University says Sri Lanka has implemented an excellent immunization program to control the COVID pandemic. She said the elderly persons and individuals suffering from various illnesses get serious complications when infected with the virus. Therefore, steps have been taken to give the booster dose, giving priority for those groups. During a media briefing at the President's Media Center today, she pointed out although vaccinated people could get infected, they do not get serious complications.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
The charges against MP Partlet Champaka Ranawaka and 2 others accused in the case filed over the fabrication of evidence in connection with the 2016 motor accident were read out before the Colombo High Court today. The case was lodged over the alleged hit-and-run incident which took place on February 28, 2016 in Rajagiriya. The former Minister Ranawaka, his then driver Dilum Tusita Kumara and former OIC of Velikada Police Sudat Asmadara are charged with fabricating and concealing evidence. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions. Up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards. Easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The former governor of Western Province, Asad Saleh, was acquitted by the Colombo High Court today from the case filed against him over the controversial remarks made during a media briefing held last year. Delivering the verdict, the High Court judge said plaintiffs have not proved that the defendant had made a statement that would threaten the reconciliation among religious groups or incite violence among ethnic groups. Minister S. M. Chandrasena says there are some issues related to vegetable prices at the market. He said a process will be introduced to send vegetable stocks to the market to rectify the situation. He mentioned this during a press briefing at Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana office today. The minister said lack of coordination between wholesale and retail traders has also contributed to the situation. And that concludes local news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
The largest stock of Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccines Sri Lanka has received to date arrived in the island this morning. The State Minister, Professor Channa Jayasumana, said the shipment contained a total of 1,503,450 doses of the vaccine. Sri Lanka is currently rolling out the 3rd dose of Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to people aged 60 years and above, and to the high-risk individuals over the age of 20 years. And that was the main news story.
Be aware before you follow any vocational course. When you select a training institute, check and verify its registration and course accreditation by Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission (TVEC) without wasting your valuable time and money. Visit and meet skills development officers or career guidance practitioners. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
Moving on to a bulletin of world news. First, the headlines. Scientists find trigger of rare blood clots with AstraZeneca jab. Australian Minister Alan Tudge stood aside over abusive affair allegations. Disney elects a female chairman for the first time in history. And now the world news in detail. Scientists believe they have found the trigger that leads to extremely rare blood clots and the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. The teams in Cardiff and the US have shown in exquisite detail how a protein in the blood is attracted to a key component of the vaccine. They think this kicks off a chain reaction involving the immune system that can culminate in dangerous clots. The vaccine is thought to have saved about 1 million lives from COVID. An Australian minister has been stood aside from the cabinet after a former staffer claimed their extramarital affair was abusive at times. Rochelle Miller alleged that she had experienced bullying and intimidation during her relationship with Education Minister Alan Tudge in 2017. Mr. Tudge said he completely and utterly rejected the allegations, but Prime Minister Scott Morrison said the minister had agreed to stand aside while an investigation commenced. Walt Disney has elected a woman to become its chairman for the first time in the entertainment giant's 98-year history. Susan Arnold has been a Disney board member for 14 years, will succeed Bob Iger at the end of this year. She was formerly an executive at global investment firm Carlyle. She has also served in senior roles at some of America's biggest companies. And to end the world news, headlines once again. Scientists find trigger of rare blood clots with AstraZeneca jab. Australian Minister Alan Tudge stood aside over abusive affair allegations. Disney elects a female chairman for the first time in history. And that concludes World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Mr. P.M. Chaminda, who works at the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, has introduced a new method of planting trees in barren lands at low cost. He said the plants are grown using discarded containers and the plants were grown using a calcium-rich natural soil. Geological Survey and Mines Bureau has decided to use the low-cost planting method introduced by Mr. Chaminda to cultivate saplings in barren lands as well as in the excavated areas. And that came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
In sports, it's cricket. Today is the fourth day of the second test between Sri Lanka and West Indies in Galle. Sri Lanka scored 204 in their first innings, while West Indies scored 253. Sri Lanka was 328 for 8 wickets in their second innings at stumps today. Dhananjay De Silva was not out on 153 and Pathum Nissanka was on 66. Meanwhile, in tennis, the Women's Tennis Association has announced the immediate suspension of all tournaments in China amid concerns for Chinese tennis player Peng Shuai. Peng, aged 35, disappeared from public view for 3 weeks after accusing a top Chinese official of sexual assault. WTA chief Steve Simon said he had serious doubts that Peng was free, safe and not subject to intimidation. And finally, in sports news, it's athletics. Norwegian 400-meter hurdler Kirsten Warholm and Jamaican sprinter Elaine Thompson-Herah have been named World Athletics World Athletes of the Year. Warholm, aged 25, won his award for beating the 29-year-old world record and taking Olympic gold in a stellar 2021. His Tokyo time of 45.94 seconds is widely considered one of the greatest Olympic track performances of all time. Thompson-Herah, aged 29, took the women's award for achieving the sprint double at her second consecutive Olympics. And that came to you in sports news. Business news is up next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Atkins Wins Travels, working in partnership with TUI Kazakhstan, welcomed its first flight for the winter season from Kazakhstan yesterday. Air Astana, the flag carrier of Kazakhstan, will be operating flights every Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday and has a capacity of 160 passengers. The flights will continue until April 2022. All travellers booked through Atkins Wins Travels are fully vaccinated travellers. And that was business news. Economic news is up next.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 go sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2021 will be inaugurated by the Chief Guest, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa, on Monday under the theme Springboard for Revival, Opportunity to Rest. The Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Newad Cabral, will deliver the keynote address at the inauguration of the summit. The Chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Vish Govindasamy, will deliver the welcome address. And that's economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011. This is the weather report.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at few places in the Sabaragamu, Central, Uva and Southern provinces and in Ambara and Batiklo district during the evening or night. A few showers are likely in the northern province. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Uva, Central and Sabaragamu provinces. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The Prime Minister says, although media can bring a government into power, it cannot protect governments. Work on the East Container Terminal of the Colombo Harbour will be completed by next month. The number of container handling will increase to 14 million once the Western and Eastern terminals are completed. The ambassador says German investors are ready to invest in Sri Lanka. The CID launches investigations into the officials and others who are suspected to have neglected to take action regarding the Easter Sunday attack. In foreign news, scientists find trigger of rare blood clots with AstraZeneca jab. And in sports, the Women's Tennis Association announces immediate suspension of all tournaments in China. And that concludes this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.